I just want to add to this video here, which was done by a war from GMS, Mississippi, and he's rebuking this clown here from Chicago, Israelites Tried and Refined. And basically, the clown you see here on screen, it goes by the name of Nazariah, and I call him Mr. T. And basically they're teaching now that America is not Babylon the Great, but the Vatican City. And that can be easily disproven by a little research, common sense, and most of all the Holy Scriptures, in particular the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter. And we're going to talk about imports. Now in the same video, the brother War mentioned the ironclad point of imports, the importation or the goods brought into America, because that's what the word import means. And when you go to the 5th minute, around the 30th second, he shows a couple of charts. One chart for the imports dealing with the Vatican City, and another chart for the imports dealing with America. Now, before I go into it, let's look up the word import so we get a good idea of the definition of the word import, which means bring goods or services into a country from abroad for sale. Then they give the example in the sentence, Japan's reluctance to import more cars. So now you know what the word import means. Now that's very important. Import is very important to Bible prophecy concerning Babylon the Great. Because when we go in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, it speaks about this Babylon the Great being a great nation of imports. And that's one of the reasons why the merchants of the earth became rich, because of the imports that were brought into America. What's an import? Goods or services, in this case goods, into a country from abroad for sale. And also we should note that what Babylon was the Apostle John talking about on the island of Patmos, because ancient Babylon was long destroyed. It was destroyed around 539 BC underneath the Medo-Persian Empire, and it wasn't burnt with fire like this Babylon the Bible speaks about that will be burnt with fire. Ancient Babylon was taken down by armies. Okay, the armies of the Medo-Persian Empire took down the armies of the Babylonians. Okay, and thus the Medes took over the empire, and then later the Persians. Okay, hence the title Medo-Persian Empire. Now the question is, what Babylon is John, the Apostle John, talking about? Okay, and those of us that are inspired by the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai know and understand that this Babylon that the Apostle John is talking about is America. Now this is just more proof, and we're dealing with imports. Okay. Now keep in mind the Vatican, which I have a map here. I believe I have a map here of the Vatican. Yeah, the Vatican, as you see here, let me just scroll out. This is Rome, and this is the Vatican City. Rome, or the Vatican City, is not a seaport city. Okay, Rome, or the Vatican City in particular, is landlocked. This is what you call landlocked. All right, it's not really a seaport city. As a matter of fact, it's a big distance from the sea out here to the Vatican City. However, America has many seaport cities, making it this merchandising port that the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, speaks about. This is one of the reasons why America became so great, because it has many import cities. As you see here, all these are import or seaport import cities. As a matter of fact, that's how the goods that come from other countries get to America, via the sea. And you have to have a good harbor port to bring in those goods. And America is filled with excellent harbor ports. As you see here, New York, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and you notice all of those cities are by the sea. See, these are where our goods come into, our cars, and as we're going to go into the chart, okay, the chart of the United States, the imports, and this is for the year 2016, man, all kind of goods come into America via the sea, okay, via the sea. As you can see, there's a big difference between the Vatican City and America's seaport cities. Big difference. Yeah, a couple over here in Los Angeles. You got a whole lot down here in around the Texas area, around Louisiana, Florida, and look at the East Coast, just littered with seaport cities. And that's one of the reasons why America became so great with merchandise, all kinds of merchandise, which the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, speaks about. Okay? As a matter of fact, here it is right here in the 19th verse. I got to jump to it. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she made, or she made desolate. 1 hour she destroyed. But why did she become great? By reason of her costliness. The ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. And here's an example, brothers. By reason of her harbors. Okay? I'm interested to know what the word costliness means. Let's look that up. That ain't talking about the Vatican. The Vatican don't fit that prophecy. Okay? Here's the Greek.
Strong's G 5094, Timiates. Timiates.
And that's for costliness, right? Abundance of costly things, worth, excellence. In other words, goods, abundance of goods. So it makes sense that America would receive far more abundance of goods than the Vatican, due to the fact that America is the seaport city. Most of these goods come by sea, man. You got airports and you got seaports. More goods are moved logistically by seaports than airports. Okay? As a matter of fact, this is from a site entitled Inbound Logistics. Logistics, look that word up. That's the science of moving things. Now, in this case, we're dealing with goods and services. Most importantly, goods. This site is entitled Top 10 U.S. Container Ports. So these are the top 10 ports of the United States. Port of Los Angeles. And look, and that's for 2014. Look at the dollar value of trade. Huh? And the trade partners are China, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam. All these countries are exporting goods into America. And what are the goods that they're exporting into America? Here's the imports. A good that's exported is an import. There's a difference between imports and exports. Now, concerning the imports, you have furniture, auto parts, apparel, electronics, footwear. Now, do you know that in the book of Revelation, that's what it talks about, the imports of America? This is not talking about the Vatican City, man. Hey, it is right here. Let's read it, okay? This is one of the reasons why America became great. Okay, the book of Revelation 18 and 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and moan over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. What merchandise? The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls, and of pearls, and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood. Now keep in mind, for all these goods to come into this Babylon the Great that the scripture is speaking about, you have to have your great seaport cities. And America's filled with them. Unlike the Vatican City. The Vatican City is right here, far away from the sea, okay? Unlike the seaport cities that are right on the sea, right on the harbor. Philadelphia, Baltimore, Norfolk Harbor, all right? Savannah, Georgia, right on the sea, okay? Tampa, you see? So it don't take much logistics to bring the goods from other countries right into America because of these harbor ports here, these seaports. Unlike the Vatican City, which is landlocked. Okay, you know how far it is from the sea over here to Vatican City? At least a good 30, maybe 40 miles. The scale is down here. From here to here is 2 miles. So if you were to line this up from the sea to Vatican City, you'd get maybe about 35, maybe about 40 miles. And I'm just guesstimating, all right? But you get the idea. Unlike the seaport cities here, which is right on the sea. So logistically, it would make sense that America is this great importing nation. Logistically, okay? So here's the goods. Merchandise of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, scarlet, thine, wood, all manner of vessels of ivory, all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble. All this is imported into America. And cinnamon and odors, or precious wood. I know America has its own precious wood. Out there in California, it's filled with trees. You got the redwood trees, etc. But most of these goods are imported into America. Okay, cinnamon odors, ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour. Well, oil, oil comes from, you have oil coming from Spain. You have bottles of oil coming from Italy. Okay. You have bottles of oil coming from Greece, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves. And let's not forget about the greatest import that America received during the 1600s, as in slaves. That's one of the reasons why America was made great, hence the title Babylon the Great, because of the slaves. And what nationality were the slaves, huh? They were Israelites, brought here into slavery, slaves and souls of men. It wasn't talking about the Vatican. The Vatican didn't receive the Israelite slaves in bulk, unlike America, right? Pretty soon, this fucking clown, pretty soon he's going to start teaching. He's going to start teaching that the so-called Negro are not the Israelites. Okay? Give him time. Hey, it says evil men, the scriptures say evil men shall wax worse and worse. I don't expect this clown to get any better. I expect him to get worse and worse. And I expect that based upon scripture. Evil men shall wax worse and worse. That's what the scripture says. But there you have it, brothers. All these goods. Huh? Making America the largest importer nation. Let's look at that. And this is what the brother talked about in the video. First he showed around the 5th minute, 30th second, he showed, this is the 5th minute, 40th second, but around the 5th minute, 30th second, he showed the chart of the imports of the Holy See, also known as the Vatican City. Yeah, it's holy, all right. It's full of holes. Then he showed the chart of the United States, the United States import chart, the chart for the imports of the United States. Big difference, brothers. Big difference. Now I got the charts here. Okay, this is the import chart for Vatican City. Now this is the year 2013, and I doubt if much has changed from 2013 to 2017. But to prove me wrong, you brothers can, if you find the website, you can put it in the comment section. But back in the year 2013, the total of dollar amount of imports was 30.5 million, and that pales in comparison to America's imports, which in the year 2016 was 2.21 trillion. There's a big difference between 30.5 million and 2.21 trillion. Big difference. So at this point, what's the greatest importer nation? The Vatican City or America? And if America is the greatest importer nation, then that's what Revelation 18 is talking about. All the imports that are going to be lost by America's destruction. And the merchants of the earth are going to weep after America's destruction because they're not going to make the money that they were making with America. Look at it. You've seen it for yourself. 2.21 trillion. And all kind of goods are being imported into America. Unlike the Vatican City, which their main import is petroleum, 51%. Okay? Look at the imports of America. Cars and phone equipment. And here they have liquid pumps, whatever that is. Engine parts. Okay? Blank audio media. Microphones and headphones. I know Japan sends a lot of those electronics over here. Lifting machinery, electric motor parts, agricultural machinery. All these come from these other countries via what? Via the sea, brothers. Okay, via the sea. And America is in an excellent location to receive all those goods, with its great seaports. Okay, so all this plays into the factor of the prophecy in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, proving that this Babylon the Great is talking about America. Okay, and that's why the merchants of the earth are going to weep. Let's read Revelation 18 and 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and moan over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. They're not going to weep and moan over the Vatican City, where in comparison to America, barely any goods come over here. The main goods that the Vatican City has imported is petroleum. I mean, come on, man. Look at this. When I scan over here, look at all the goods that come to America, the imports, versus the imports that come over here to the Vatican City. No comparison. So according to Revelation, the book of Revelation, what is this great important city? What is this great seaport city? America, which is known as Babylon the Great. And one of the reasons it was great is because of the imports. Okay? Revelation 18 and 15. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her, the imports, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Shall stand afar off is a metaphor for seeing America's destruction via satellite television. Okay, because as America is being destroyed, the satellites that are 150 miles above the earth will broadcast images of America's destruction via satellite. So you got channels like Al Jazeera and CNN Worldwide and all that. They're going to see America's destruction. So that's what it means, standing afar off for fear of her torment. The torment is America's destruction by thermonuclear missiles. Okay? So they're going to weep and wail. Why are they going to weep and wail? Because they love America? No, because they're not going to make any more money. They love the money that they're making off America. A lot of these other countries can't stand America, but they enjoy the money that they make off America. And as you can see, 2.21 trillion, and that's for the year of 2016. And that amount doesn't decrease, it increases, because America is this great consumer nation. Okay? But ain't no more money going to be made, so those merchants, they're going to be, those merchants are going to be in the way, man. They're going to be, well, what does the scripture say? 15th verse. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. What's an idea of these so great riches? 2.21 trillion. Huh? In comparison to the Vatican, 30.5 million. That's not, look, that is great riches. 2.21 trillion. In comparison, there's a big difference from 2.21 trillion to 30.5 million. Come on, man. What the hell are you talking about, Nazariah? What the hell are you talking about? And you know what? There's nothing prolific about you. We've seen your kind come and go over the years. Beginning with Elder Apostle Tar on down. We've seen your reprobate kind come and go. You guys, you have a little spotlight for a while, and then the Lord takes his backhand and slaps you back into obscurity, man. He backhands you back into obscurity. And that's what's going to happen to you, Nazariah. As it is written, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Okay? You're just a T-shirt of the week. All right, soon to be disposed of. Fucking clown. Anyway, let me read on. And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, decked with gold and precious stones. I just gave you an example of the imports that America receives. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. 2.21 trillion. That was in the year of 2013. Naught means zero. There's a big difference from going from 2.21 trillion to zero. Okay, that's like hitting a brick wall at 200 miles per hour. Okay. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. Here's your example of the shipmasters. Look at all these ports around America in comparison to the Vatican City. Barely, the Vatican City is not a port city, but America is. And look at all the different ports, man. This is what the scripture is talking about. Okay? Every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? It is. One of the reasons why America is great is because of its seaport cities. Okay? Can't get around it. Hey, so I'm going to end it right there. Okay? I mean, the point is made. All right? So with that, this is MailBag Extra, and I'll see you in the next edition. Shalom.